here for about 10 or 15 minutes while the girls are finalizing their draws and everything, and then we'll get ready to start rolling. I want to welcome you all here today. My name's Wingo. For those of you that don't know me, my name's right here. I tell Brenda every time somebody walks by and said, "Hey Dave, how you doing?" I whisper to her, "Who was that?" She goes, "I don't know." I said, "They knew me." They said, "Your name's on your shirt, dummy." I said, "So if you want to really know if they know you, put somebody else's name there." But anyway, I want to thank y'all for coming today. And I'm filling in for JR and Trina Crouch. They're in Arizona team roping, and JR had a little injury out there, so it slowed his roping down, but they're going to be back in March or April or whatever. And so I want you to know that I'm not a preacher. I'm just a team roper and a rancher who loves Jesus, and I want to do what I can to spread the good word. I'd like to think that I am not a greedy person, that I would like to let all of you know about Jesus, because he'd be tickled to death to know you. But anyway, so I want to read something that I find a lot of stuff on Facebook. Y'all know, if y'all know me, you know I'm going to go broke one of these days on Facebook. So, I stay down on that old farm by myself a lot, and it's my way to communicate, and it keeps me informed of what's going on in the world around me, and it also tells me where all the good team ropings are and what's going on with the cattle and everything. But this is something from Philippians 4:4 and Psalms 102:27. And it says, "Rejoice in me always." No matter what is going on, you can rejoice in your love relationship with me. This is the secret of being content in all circumstances. So many people dream of the day when they will finally be happy, when they are out of debt, when their children are out of trouble, and when they have more leisure time. While they daydream, their moments are trickling onto the ground like precious bombs spitting wastefully from an overturned bottle. Fantasizing about future happiness will never bring fulfillment, because fantasy is unreality. Even though I am invisible, I am far more real than the world you see around you. My reality is eternal and unchanging. Bring your moments to me, and I'll fill them with vibrant joy. Now is the time to rejoice in my presence. Okay? And for those of you here yesterday, remember we talked about time. It's the most important thing there is that we can never get back, no matter what happens. The only people that can turn back time are truck drivers. They just, they tell their mothers, you can't turn back, you can't do nothing. They just flip the log backwards and fill it out for what they did yesterday. They were really driving, but they just put back that they slept all day. So anyway, those are the only people that can change time or move it around to their advantage. Now we got e-logs, and so you can't do that anymore, can you, Bucky? It knows where you're at and what your truck was doing. But anyway, the time that we spend fantasizing about things, that happiness deal. My mission of my sermon today, or my talk, is how much is enough. And it may be the first thing pops in your mind, well, how much is enough money? But I want to kind of reverse that a little bit. How much is enough misery? And how much is enough debt? And how much is enough pain in a relationship? How much is enough that you've had enough? And you draw your line in the sand like Jesus said, and said, cross with me or stay on that side. My friends are with me, my enemies are against me. It talks a lot in the Old Testament. Whenever you got to be God's enemy, God sent all of his soldiers to the bottom of the hill and killed them all. I mean, that's the scary part about the Old Testament. When God had had enough, he destroyed the world. When God had had enough, he changed. He tore down, allowed that his disciples and everything to tear down the walls of Jerusalem. He done everything that when pushed to the limit. How many of y'all ever get pushed to the limit by somebody at work or your wife or something? You just throw your hands up and say, I've had enough. The deal is, yeah, you live like that, don't you, Wes? Me too, But anyway, it's one of those deals that we probably don't think enough about it, but we probably need boundaries. We ought to say, I am going to team rope this month 20 times. I'm going to spend a little time with my kids for the next 2 days. I'm going to do this. You know, you have to try to balance the time you have, because at that time, if you spend it roping instead of with your kid, you never get it back. If you spend it with your kid and your wife suffered over it or something, you know, it's a hard balancing deal. It's, you know, how much is enough? You know, when we get back to talk about money, whenever I hear how much is enough, that's the first thing popped into my mind, was how much is enough money? If I make $50 today, is that enough money? And I can make that by noon so I can team rope, or I can go fishing, or I can hang out with my wife, or whatever the rest of the day. You know, but that's the one question that I promise you, every person that gets my age and getting ready to think about retiring asks, have I got enough? You know? And we probably ought to not be thinking about money, but say, have we got enough time left? Because no one knows how much time we have but the Maker and the Creator. But we do know that that time is reset every day. You know, it's a clean slate with Jesus every day. You sin today, you ask him tonight, hey man, I got to do better tomorrow, Lord. I'm going to try to do better. That's all he asks. There's no perfect people. And you'll eventually do that enough times that you've had enough and it becomes automatic. You don't do that no more, whether it's good or bad. And again, I want to tell you, because some new faces here, I don't believe that Christians, and I'm not going to say preachers and evangelists and stuff, you know, they all want to do you right, but it's not their place to tell Wesley to quit putting salt on his onions. And it's not his deal to tell him to keep beating up his wife or anything like that, you know. We as disciples of Jesus need to tell other people about the good things he can do for us. Because you won't want to beat your wife up when you find Jesus. And your wife needs to be there with you, yoking together to help make that work, your girlfriend or whatever it might be. But to give to that enough. You know, when will we have enough in this country? You know, everybody griped, remember 3 or 4 years ago, or how long has it been since oil was $150 a barrel? You got any oil people in here? 1 year. Was it $150 this time last year? It was $100. Everybody griped about that high price oil. Now it's $30. Everybody's griping about the cheap oil. You know, what's enough griping there? You know, they say, oh, we just want the medium. And that's what everybody wants, the medium between doing what they want to do and doing what the Lord encourages them to do. And it's a constant balancing act. Some people work for Jesus 24 hours a day. Some Christians, not just people, but Christians, work for themselves 24 hours a day. They didn't go to church this morning because they needed to change over. They didn't go to church Wednesday night because they went to a T-ball game. And I would say it's better to go to that T-ball game than it was to maybe go to church on Wednesday night, because it's that time thing. He'll only play 20, 30 T-ball games his whole lifetime. But you got to go to church a lot of years, if we're lucky. Or get to go to Sunday school or something. But again, it's that balance of things that are out there. And that's all the Lord's always seeking, balance between good and evil. Christians and sinners. And the sinner deal is a lot bigger than the Christians. Even though there's a lot of Christians in the world, there's probably lots of sinners. And I don't know exactly where to go. But what I want to tell y'all, and just cut it to a nutshell, is whenever you've had enough trouble, and you've had enough debt, and you've had enough giving up, and you've had enough fantasizing, and you've had enough misery to say, I give up. That's when you need to think about going to Jesus and let him carry you through that deal. So that the next time when you say, if I had enough, I am too happy. I want to spread my happiness around. I am too well off financially. I want to spread some of it around. I am too happy to sit here and not talk to somebody I don't know. That's the enough we need to be working at. Because you can never get too much of that. What's that song went by? You never have too much fun. And I'm a firm believer that the Lord wants us to have fun while we're here, or he wouldn't have fixed so many fine things to do that are fun. You know, today there's going to be not heard there's a football game today. The Dallas Cowboys ain't playing, so to me it's just another football game. But I may never get to see another Super Bowl. You know? There'll be a lot of people today who are watching that Super Bowl Sunday, and they might have the best time of their life. I'm not one of them. But I know there's some football fans that are like I am at team roping. I'm glued to the NFR when it comes on TV to watch the team roping. It usually lasts 4.2 seconds. So it doesn't last very long. And if you tape it on your VCR and you mute it, well, Joe Beaver ain't talking. Telling about what all happened. Man, you can watch it. You can run through that team roping in about 4 minutes. And then if you want to hear what Joe said, yeah, he didn't get it. Oh, yeah, he did! You know? But anyway, those are the things that maybe we need to speed our time up. I think that DVR deal has saved me a lot of time. Me and Brenda talk a lot more because I say, hey, I don't want to watch that commercial. Zip through that. Get it out of I just want to get to this part of it, you know. And those are the things, and I'm going to use that as an example, that we need to get out of our life, that it's not time saving, it's not time enjoyed, you know. I know a lot of people drive 2.5 hours a day to work and 2.5 hours back. Is that crazy? That's crazy, isn't it? You know, if you're going to work 5 hours from home, move. Everybody says, I'm scared to move. I got a house here. They sell houses everywhere, you know. And you got the other guy who lives 2 blocks from work. I think that's too close because you'll spend a lot more time there than you should. You know, I think you ought to have to get in your car and have a 10-minute drive to go to work. And I think if we relocated everybody to where they worked at, we could zip through Dallas through the high 5 at 80 miles an hour. It wouldn't be a soul loaded, you know, but a few truck drivers. But anyway, to me, that is a terrible waste of time. Unless you can do something in there. They used to text and drive, and then we had a bunch of people who got killed, so we can't text and drive no more, and it never was a safe thing, and I'm not encouraging that at all. I'm sure Steve Young down there at the end, a truck driver, has seen a lot of people texting and driving as they got in your lane, didn't you, Steve? You know? So that's how we lose our focus when we're doing something that is boring to us or not happy. But I'm going to close with this thought for you. Whenever you ask yourself, have I had enough? Have I got too much? Do I want to do anything different? When you find out, you say, I've had enough. If it's joy, happiness, and money, spread it around. It's enough. If it's misery and complications, and I can't think of a word more than misery. You know, and I know we've all been miserable at some time or another over things we could do nothing about other than just change things. And there was, what was that I saw on Facebook, said if dirty diaper problems are like dirty diapers, if something ain't right about it, change it, you know, and get there to where you have that enough. But when you've had enough, come to Jesus, I promise, He likes that misery. He'll take it away from you. He likes that unhappiness. And I would like to say that everyone who becomes a Christian will become an instant millionaire and lottery winner, but it doesn't work that way. Because whenever you get a little bit ahead and you're a good Christian, you try to find a way to help somebody else. And that's exactly what we're supposed to do. It was the story about the talents, you know. The landowner gave the talents to his servants and said, do something with this. And one old boy buried it in the ground and brought it back to the master and said, here's mine. He said, I didn't risk it. No way I could lose it. Here's your talents back. Some of them had invested their talents and lost it. Some of them had invested their talents and made things. And the only one that Jesus thought needed to be reprimanded or taught anything was that who buried his talents in the ground and didn't show them to anyone. His talents to get up and team up. His talents to get up and talk to strangers. His talents to be able to fix horses, fix cars, do those kind of things. You all have God-given talents, and I want you to use your time wisely so that it'll help you get enough. And I want to close with one quick prayer. Lord, thank you for the wonderful times that we're going to have today, because we're going to have enough joy and enough fun to spread this around today. And I hope everyone here wins a check But we know, Lord, that they're a winner. When they leave the end of that pen, they had a good chance to come and rope a good partner and a good horse, a steer to chase, and a hope, Lord. Not a fantasy, but a hope that they can do as good as the talent you gave them today. That's all any good team roper can ask for. Any good cowboy will tell you that he's only as good as the horse he rides and the woman he calls his love. In Jesus' name I ask these things. Amen. Thank you, boys and girls, for coming. Hammer down.